Good morning, everyone. What is going on? We are back again with another episode of the South Florida Gamers Podcast. I believe this is episode 86, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I could be right. Either way, welcome, everyone. We're glad to be back. And across the table from me is none other than my co-host, Waluigi.
Good morning, Weaves. Long time no see. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good. All right. And our guest is none other than Just Hearn.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me. I appreciate the time.
Of course.
Alrighty. As y'all already know, this episode of the podcast is available on all audio hosting platforms, Spotify, except SoundCloud, Apple Music, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, you name it, we're there. Just look us up, South Florida Gamers Podcast. And video playback, of course, is going to be available on YouTube and Facebook. Now, I will say that I will no longer be streaming on Facebook and I will no longer be streaming on Kick because, well, there's just not an audience for the podcast there, unfortunately. So, that being said, we're just going to focus mainly on Twitch and then YouTube as a secondary backup for all things podcast related. So, hey, thank y'all for, sticking around, tuning in, sharing the stream. And, of course, share the stream. Share the stream. Let the people know, hey, come check out this podcast. Great guests, great hosts, great topics, good discussion. Just share, like, follow, all that good stuff. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get in with our guest, Just Hearn. And we have a natural tradition here on the podcast, and that is we like to ask our guests for the first time, what is it that got them into gaming? Like, give us your gaming background story, your origin story. Like, how did it all start for you?
Definitely my uncle. My uncle used to, this is about to show my age, but we used to go to a video store where we used to like rent movies and games, and there was arcades there, so he used to always take me there.
No, I'm kidding.
They had an arcade there. It was a wrestling. I don't know if you guys are into wrestling, but so they had a wrestling game called, I think it was called WrestleMania, and it was like a 1v1 or 2v2. The last boss was either Ted DiBiase or the Legion of Doom. So I don't know if you guys know, but anywho, I was into wrestling as well because of my uncle. So he got me. So that kind of introduced me to like just gaming in general. And then they switched out the arcade after X amount of weeks. They put Street Fighter there. My uncle's playing Street Fighter, and then I got into Street Fighter. So that's how I started just gaming in general. And then, he had bought a Nintendo, and then
the OG Nintendo, like the NES?
Oh, OG, yeah. Okay. I'm talking about like gold cartridge, Zelda. I'm talking about this. See, you might not even notice, but they used to have Nintendo games with it was like almost like a thread or a cloth strip that you had to fold in when you put the cartridge in.
What?
That just shows my age a little bit, but
I didn't know.
I didn't know. Essentially, that's pretty much how I got into it, and then I just enjoyed just the challenges in video games as a whole. And then I just kept playing problems, But that's how I got into it when I was younger. And then, as I got older, I started liking different types of games that, I felt like suited me, and then, tried out other things, not just like fighting games and stuff like that. So I would say that's kind of like what got me into it.
All right. So, what are your genres of games that are your interest? Like, these are the genres that you like to play. Is it fighting games? Is it action adventure, RPG, JRPG,
puzzles,
racing, anything? Like, there's so many genres of gaming out there. Like, which are the ones that just like grab you? Like, these are my genres that I go to.
100%. I would say survival horror. 100%.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
that's my thing, because Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil, literally every single Resident Evil I've finished and destroyed, and so I would say that or any game that involves character building. So so like JRPGs, like I'm super big on anything turn-based combat games. Like right now I'm playing probably one of my favorite games of all time that I discovered a couple of years ago that me and my homies play. It's called Epic 7. It's a mobile game. If you're into anime, if you're into turn-based combat, if you're into character building, it's dope. So it kind of fills in all my voids, bro. It's a gacha game, so they're going to be throwing some ads to buy some currency and stuff like that for in-game.
Right.
That makes sense.
But yeah, so I would say so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then fighting games. So those are like my top three. So it depends on the time of the year, because I do go out to majors and stuff like that, and I try to support. So if it's around the time of CEO, if it's around the time of Evo, I'm kind of locked into my fighting games. Right now, I'm kind of in between a little bit of the two. I'm playing this new game called Lords of the Fallen.
I've heard of that. Yes,
I've heard of it.
So I'm a big fan of Elden Ring, probably in my top 5 all-time games, and it kind of shares a lot of similarities. So I'm giving it a shot. I bought it last night, played it for like 10 minutes because I got into. I don't know if you guys are playing My Hero either, but that game,
the new My Hero
I haven't played it yet.
Battle Royale.
fire,
It is
fire.
I'm gonna.
Okay, all right. I want to know about that because I've been hearing a little bit
I've seen
about it on
clips.
Twitter and whatnot, and some clips about it. Like, I want to know what is it about this game, and like tell someone like who's never played the game, like for you, like you played it. Describe to us, for those who have never played it, like we see little clips of it, but like explain it to us to how is that game, and is it worth getting into?
I would definitely say 100% it's worth getting into, especially if you like team-based games, right? So this requires a lot of synergy. So looking at it from the outside in, not understanding what the game is about, you're like, oh, it's a bunch of My Hero characters running around just shooting projectiles at each other. But then when you start really playing it, there's a lot of substance to it. So like depending on what characters you kind of pair with another character, you'll get like boosts. So some characters are tanks, some are technical characters where they kind of
They have
kind
to have
of-
some kind of requirements.
yeah, like they'll manipulate your cooldowns and those kind of things. So it's pretty cool. So each character has like three different sets of abilities or quirks.
Okay.
You may, so the whole game, like you're trying to, power up your quirks so that way, you just win. So it's a battle royale, right? So it's
Pretty much.
so it's so it's like Fortnite, it's like Apex and all that.
Third person.
It is third
Okay.
it is third person. There's a lot of characters in the game. It's a 3v3, 3v3, whatever, and it's 8 teams. So it's just last man standing kind of a thing.
Sounds like it goes by faster since it's 8 teams.
It's a very fast paced game. Like you will literally it would probably take longer sometimes to load than to actually play. Because if you pick a landing spot at random and then you don't know where everyone else is landing, and then once like the timer goes down, then you see where every single person's gonna land, every single character. So you might be like, oh, there's 4 or 5 Dobbies, or you guys watch My Hero, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's 4 or 5 Dobbies. There's 2 Dekus over here. So you kind of want to strategize on where to
They're
go
like,
get loot.
do I really want to risk an all-out war too early in the game?
You definitely don't want to do that because then you're going to play the game 2v3 and it's almost impossible to win that way. I mean, I won a game yesterday, winning a 3v1. I got this little medal, so I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, Dobby, one of the villains in My Hero, so he's a pretty dope character.
Too many people make tier list already.
Which is crazy because it's only the game is about a week and a half old, 2 weeks.
I saw.
But
There's like a few of my friends that are playing that game and slightly cooking.
you got to try it, man. It's free, so
You know what I'm going to? What system is it on, anyways?
It's on PC. It's on Xbox. My only gripe is there's no crossplay. So if your friends have Xbox, they're playing on Xbox. If your friends have PC, they're playing on PC.
Let's play it later.
But it's a dope game for sure.
All right, so to get back on the topic on your games that are your genres of games that you're into, you also said Resident Evil are your favorites and whatnot, and I just gotta ask this one question: which of the Resident Evil games are the worst?
Which is the worst? Definitely 6, 100%. Like not even.
Thank you.
Not even
Yeah.
like.
Thank you.
Not even without even going into the memory bank, going back here. Resident Evil 6 was probably.
was the worst.
Yeah. It was the worst because it went away from like what it's about, right? It was more action based than it was like survival horror. Like I wasn't scared at no point in the game.
Storyline was low-key cool. I will give it that.
It was.
And the fact that you see everyone's perspectives together in the bonus one, but when it comes to like your fucking, oh my god, the fact that the multiplayer you can't even pause. Like you have to stay AFK if you're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
something. I learned that the hard way when I was
Oh, yeah.
playing it. I give it respect, but it's still one of the worst ones.
There's a couple others though. There was the ones that came out for like
Raccoon City.
Those are horrible.
Yeah.
Operation Raccoon.
I tried even
Yes.
Outbreak. That was fun for like 10 minutes. You know, I was playing on the PS Network when the PS, you needed to buy like that little back piece to make it like Ethernet compatible.
Yeah.
So I played Outbreak because you can only play Outbreak if it's directly connected. You couldn't play on Wi-Fi. But even then,
Sounds painful.
yeah, oh, because it was back in the day before online was like actually like good.
Like even Revelations was better.
Revelations was also horrible.
It is. It is horrible, but it's better than 6.
Right. So I
Because the survival horror, like,
yeah,
it had the real like genre.
yeah,
I don't know why they made a second one. It's stupid.
yeah. I
I didn't
mean,
want to play it afterwards.
I tried it, man, but it was just there was just something. It just didn't feel like Resident Evil. You know what I mean?
Because if there's more side characters, I'm cool with spin-offs, but it just has to make sense.
Yeah, I agree. I would say so, but I don't mind changes they make in games like that. You know, because Biohazard or Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8, they are way different than any other Resident Evil, and those
yeah.
are some of my favorites right there.
They focus on the horror.
That was scary. So Resident Evil 7, I've played it with and without VR. First of all, with
I have
VR.
not been man enough to actually just finish it on my Xbox.
I still have Resident Evil 7 on VR, and I still have my VR headset.
Did you play it though?
Yes,
It's scary as fuck.
it is.
It's scary.
It is.
Like I'm a bitch. I will say that without even hesitating. But I've been watching scenes of people playing the mini games where like it's like I guess blackjacks
Yeah.
or at least a knife. Where like if you lose a blackjack, you just lose a finger. I'm like they make that so dramatic. And then the other guy loses a finger if he wins. I'm just like this is cool as shit. Different mini games that I was not expecting, but people actually take that seriously.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so now with your genres of games that you're into and whatnot, what would you say is your favorite console throughout your years of gaming?
Damn, you know what? I'm gonna
There's
have to
no wrong answer.
There is no wrong answer.
No.
I'm gonna have to say. We're not talking about PC though. I can't say PC, right? Because I think PC for me kind of changed the game for me with everything. Oh, you saying console?
Yeah, console.
We're not counting that. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is tough because I would put probably. I'm gonna show my age again, man. Super Nintendo was probably one of my favorite
We had a man
consoles.
in his early 20s, or at least within my age, said that he chose a Sega Saturn. If it makes you feel better.
No, Sega Saturn was. It has some
It was
hits.
dope.
It was. It's just Sega just fell apart. But
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
definitely Super Nintendo, PlayStation 2. I would say those will be my top 2 for sure. PlayStation 2 definitely held a lot of classics. PlayStation 4 as well. I'm not even a Sony guy like that. I'm just a anything that is good guy. And,
Yeah.
If it has the quality,
Yeah.
it's a real game.
and then also Sony's huge with exclusives, so they had a lot of things I got into. I wasn't into like Halo 1 through 100 or I'm into Gears, and that's an Xbox game, but
Understood.
PlayStation have these exclusives made me like actually favor the system a lot more than like Xbox and some of the others.
I will agree with that now.
Dreamcast was pretty dope. I don't know if you guys were
Yeah.
Dreamcast heads, but
I wasn't, but I've seen like gameplay or like the niche features that it had.
yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah, it was pretty dope, games like Marvel 2, kind of got me into actually buying the game, and then the fact that you were able to kind of like hack the Dreamcast and then get the get free games and stuff. That kind of was like, I don't have to spend money on games and I can play these dope games. Cool, I'm in there. But that's not why the console is dope. But it just has it was just up there for me. But PlayStation 2 and 4, I would say so.
Okay.
All right, reasonable. All right. So throughout your years of gaming and whatnot, and you've with your experience, is there anything you could look back on within your gaming experience and be like, you know what, I kind of did missed out on this genre of game? Or were there any games back in your years of gaming where you just look back and be like, man, I wish I could have played that game throughout this time so I could experience it?
I played anything I wanted to play, to be honest, man. That's just what it is. Like I ended up getting a job when I was super young because my moms couldn't afford like every console, so a lot of my pay went to either buying clothes or buying games.
Gotcha.
So if I wanted a game and it's on a different console, I'm gonna buy it. I literally bought a GameCube because I wanted to play Smash. You know what I mean? And
Understood.
that's just so. I really have no regrets, or anything like looking back and being like, damn, I should have played this, because anything I wanted to play, if I really wanted to play it, I was in there. Now, granted, I did miss out on some games because I was playing other games. So, if in that aspect, then I probably missed a couple, especially RPGs, because RPGs are. I played a lot of Final Fantasies, a lot of like. those big long-term games, and it's just hard to kind of like play all of them. So some of them, I watched them on well, now I watch them on YouTube. I'm like, oh, let me watch this game. I never got to play and finish.
Oh, yeah.
And just ask yourself, did I really miss a Heat game, or did I just duck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like that because you would think that, like, especially for me, because I'm also going to show my age as well, because there were games, especially RPG games, where I didn't get into them because back then for me, I was into, Madden and NBA. I was also into fighting games as well and action games. I was not so much into RPGs, but now looking back, I'm just like, man, I missed out some really dope JRPGs back then because granted, they were turn-based, but they were also so good. Now I'm older. I like JRPGs now.
Love them. I fucking love them.
I low-key love turn-based games. Like, I grew up into that secretly.
It's something about JRPG games and even RPG games that makes you appreciate it even more. When back then you were just like, I wanted something quick, easy, fun, and just out the way, rather than sit down, enjoy the story, enjoy the build up or whatnot, and the character development, and just really enjoy the game.
Yeah.
So I would say, like, for me, it was like, I wish back then I got into the JRPG aspect a lot earlier than I did. I would say I started making that shift towards the late end of the PS3 cycle. PS4, it was a lot more heavier, and now PS5, it's like back and forth. But then again, it's like, with me for now, it's like, because now I have to run tournaments here. It's like I don't have time to, like I'll play a JRPG, but it's like it's gonna take me a minute because
hell yeah,
because of what my life situation is now.
I get it. Trust me, I'm on the same boat, man. That's why I play this game on my phone, right? Epic 7. It's a JRPG. I love anime. I love RPGs. I love character building, so it fills in a lot of my voids. And so I can't play a lot of. So one game I was playing recently, not too long ago, was you guys are familiar with Midnight Suns?
No, I'm not.
I've heard of it.
The
Yes,
Marvel one, right?
Yeah,
it's a Marvel RPG game that's turn-based. It's a very very strategic game, and I loved it. But I don't have time to sit there. And there's so many other games I want to play. This game is on my phone, so I'm just I can play whenever I want. I play right before I go to bed, lay in my bed, and just do a couple of missions, or just kind of mess around with my gear.
I did hear about Midnight Suns. I heard that they weren't really going to be releasing much content.
Yeah. They did drop some DLC, but they've kind of slowed down with it.
It has like great potential, but then it just kind of just died out a little bit.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's a company situation, executive choices or such. Mm-hmm. But the only Marvel game I'm looking forward to besides Spider-Man 2 is upcoming Wolverine.
That looks fire.
Yeah.
It does.
It has potential.
But yeah, I'm with you on the no time for RPGs, man. I want to though, and I'm even like taking a chance with. I don't want to say like Lords of the Fallen is an RPG, but it kind of is. It's a responsibility game. Like you have to put some time into like this game but I'm gonna try to balance them out. I'm playing My Hero. I'm playing this. I'm trying to get good at MK. So I feel you. And then there's life.
Balancing, such.
Yeah. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, and when you also mention a mobile game that you're playing where you can play anytime, I'm on the same boat with you because I'm also playing an RPG game called Nikke, Goddess of Victory, and I've been playing it since last year November. I've been playing that game, and I've been stuck on that game ever since because the fact that the story's actually good, the gameplay is very easy to follow, the pick rate, I would say, like, getting like rare characters or super secret rare characters or SSR characters, getting those is not fair at most point, but it's a gacha game.
Ooh, yeah.
So you already know that you're grinding, you finally get enough gems, points, or tickets, whatever, to get the characters that you want, and then it kind of just be like, nah, you're not getting this. Like, the RNG is not very. I wouldn't say it's not fair. It's fair and it's not fair because there are
highway robbery.
It's RNG.
Yeah. So it's just like, hey, give us more money and you may have an opportunity to get this character. Like last month, I believe, they had an event where it was a collaboration event with Nier Automata, and And when I say that, I've been grinding my ass to get 2B completely maxed out before the event ends. I couldn't get her maxed out. I was like one more away to get her maxed out, and it's just she's a limited character. After the event ends, I can no longer get her anymore. So I'm hurting. I was like, damn, that was the one character I wanted to max the hell out, but. I'm with you on that. Like I play Nikke literally almost every day because I can play it on my phone right before I go to bed. Just do my daily activities and be like, all right, I'm done. I've grinded for the day, which usually takes me about a good 45 minutes. Okay, done.
Damn,
Move
the
on.
last game I put into was like Street Fighter Duels, actually.
Ooh.
Where it's just like an AFK game where you just watch your characters do stuff.
Yeah.
You can have it automatic. After playing it for 2 months and getting some of the characters that were dope, and then a collaboration with Devil May Cry, I'm just like, I don't want to spend money. Fuck this. I'm deleting the game.
I did the same thing. Don't worry about it.
It's just like so long.
It does, and you cannot. It's almost impossible.
It's
to do
very
gacha games.
It's extremely repetitive. I
Yeah.
can't do gacha games.
It's I'm gonna be honest. I'm a Street Fighter fan. That game's a little boring after a while.
It really is.
It gets a little boring. But
I'm like, let me see what kind of Street Fighter lore they have. They ain't got shit.
yeah,
It's just skins.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like gacha games that don't put any effort into like the game, like the universe of a game, the game story, character development, and I mean, for me, this is just for me. I would also say the soundtrack of the game. Like, I feel like if a gacha game does not have like those elements to where people can get immersed within the game universe, then they're not going to stay for long. If it's just nothing but you can just get cool skins and you just do some cool shit, it's not gonna stay for a very long period of time. It's eventually gonna wear off. So you want something of substance to where it keeps people engaged for a long period of time.
Facts.
That's why you look at something like Genshin Impact. It's still in business. What's another one? Honkai Star Rail. That's still going strong.
it's fire.
Nikke has been going extremely strong, and there was another one, I think, Azure Lane, that's also going strong as well. So because those games have stuff of substance that keeps people engaged for a very long period of time, so that way, hey, you're not only getting cool skins or whatnot or cool characters, but you're also getting a really good, rich story, lore, character backgrounds and whatnot, and just a whole lot of stuff that just adds on to the experience of the game. So that's just my thoughts on that.
I have a question for you though.
Okay.
Did you drop bread or money on the game at all, the Nikke game?
Yes.
How come you didn't max your character out that way though? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like I can't say I don't like dropping money on games because like I had a conversation with my wife about me dropping almost damn near $2,000 on my.
I'm sorry.
It was rough. It was really rough to admit that to my lady because when I quit, I was like, "Yo, babe, I don't play Epic 7 anymore." She's like, "Good." She's like, "I feel like you dropped a couple of hundreds on it." I'm like, "No, it's about $2,000," and she's super duper pissed at me. But because like your game, there was limited characters. I'm like, I gotta make sure I finish this event because this event it only happens once a year.
Yeah.
So and then trying to break that down on my lady's like, are you freaking kidding me right
I
now?
had to look back at the camera's reaction.
Bruh. But just like your game, there's limited characters. Like they have, you guys familiar with Full Metal Alchemist, and so they have those characters in the game. They have Guilty Gear characters in the game, but these are like limited
Oh my
characters.
god.
Yes.
I almost spat my coffee.
But dude, I definitely dropped some bread on these games, man. Like gacha games, exactly.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha
And
bread.
I would say like the maximum I would spend would be like 60. After that, it's like, nah, I'm good.
$10 is for me.
It was total though. It was 2,000 total. I mean, I didn't just drop two. I don't got it like that. You see, I got a Spencer shirt on. Like I don't got it like that. But I'm just saying. Like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
like,
it adds up after a while.
Yeah, it definitely adds up. So I would say, yeah, definitely for me, like for like an event, I would say like maximum 60, because this character is like limited. Like when it came down to 2B, like I was like, yes, I have to get this character. I want to get this character max because it's like it's a one and done type of thing.
Yeah.
It was also the same thing with the
The Chainsaw Man one.
Chainsaw Man one. Yeah, exactly.
I read your stories too, bro.
Dude,
I know what you did.
I was like, listen, before this event ends, I'm gonna get Makima, I'm gonna get Power, and I'm gonna get Himeno. I'm gonna get all three of them. I'm not gonna max them out. I just want all three of them because I looked at their stats and I'm just like, okay, these, yeah, they're cool and all, but their stats was really not hitting it. Like, nah, like, I was like, nah. PvP and PvE, it was like, nah, it's not gonna work for me. So just like, I don't have to max y'all out. Once I get y'all, I get y'all. And if I get y'all through the tickets, fine. I'm good. I'm cool. But 2B, it was like, yeah, I have to get this character. And man, the gotcha RNG just wasn't in my favor. So I only got like two. I'm like one more away from maxing her out. But I was just like, fuck.
Do you have any rituals when you summon a character? Because it's like I'm assuming you have to like summon these characters.
Oh no.
Okay, I thought you were talking about a literal ritual, and I was ready.
No.
I was ready to stop and not drink my coffee just so I would.
No, but like for example, like in my game, I'll switch channels in the game, or I'll do something where I'm like I'll press the button, but I'm gonna look at the screen to see if I get the character because it's like a 1% chance you might get this character out of 120 like pulls. So I was wondering if it was like the same.
That gave me time not to overreact.
I had to finish, yo.
I would have to show you my Nikkei profile after the podcast.
Okay, cool.
So that way you can get a better understanding.
Cool.
But yeah. What I was gonna say? Oh yeah. Back to the topic I had, which is your gaming origin and whatnot. So overall, your overall experience with gaming coming up and with all these different games and genres and whatnot, what would you say tops it all off for you? Like, what would be the one thing that you could tell people that, hey, there's a lot of games out there. Don't be afraid to, play them or not. Like, what would be your message to people who are growing up in gaming? Like, do they need to take your path as to, hey, if you really want to experience what I experienced, then play all these older titles? Or would it be like, if you're able to get it, play it, and move on to another game?
I would say it really depends on the person I'm talking to, because I can tell if someone's not going to give a certain kind of game or genre a chance at all. It's easy for people to like play Call of Duty, 2K, GTA. Like these are games that these are like
staples.
Yeah. So these are like kind of like they're not real games. They're like more casual. You know what I mean?
They are, but people take it like to a competitive range, even if it's not too far. Like 2K is the only one, or like any sports game is the only one with real competition, at least.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. But in terms of like trying to go like the RPG route and everything, I would have to see how, like, let's say patient this person is, because some people don't have the patience to be just reading. I know people that play RPGs and actually play RPGs and they're skipping through the story, and I'm like, bruh, like you just missed the whole point of the game.
Yeah, you just missed the main objective. You're gonna break the rule, and you're like, how'd you die?
Yeah. So it really depends, right? So like when I talk to my non-gamer friends about like what I do, I go out and compete and I break it down like just in fighting games, for example, right? I was just telling you guys earlier, like fighting games is like math. Like you like when you know that much of it, you're like, okay, this is -5, so I know it's not my turn. Meanwhile, a person that doesn't play fighting games is not going to think about any of that stuff. So, so me breaking it down for other people, they're like, wow, there's like a scientific, part of like, gaming, and like that they didn't know. So it really depends on the person I'm talking to be able to like want to recommend games outside of like the staples, like you said, so like it really depends, especially like if I ask them, hey, so what's the last game you played, and they tell me, oh yeah, I played this game like 14 years ago, then I'm like, oh, okay.
It's like, may I give you a suggestion?
I can't. Yeah, but it really, for me, it depends on who I'm really talking to for me to just kind of like say, hey, this might be for you. I think you should go with this. But at all times, I would probably recommend survival horror games, because that's going to be like you're literally playing a scary movie. It gets to the point. So that's probably one game. Well, that's probably one genre of gaming that will be easy for me to get other people into, because, like I said, it is like a movie. There's puzzle solving involved.
Have you tried Evil Within?
Yes.
How do you feel about that game?
It's more. I feel like it's more action based than it is scary. Like,
I think the second one was more action based the way it looks. The second one is more survival, but I think they just cut it out. Just went straight to the point.
Yeah.
It looks good, but I think that's like a decent like starting route for some people.
Yeah.
That want to get into Resident Evil without touching Resident Evil.
I think it's the other way around. I think I'd rather them start with Resident Evil because of how the story like
With
grows.
all the, how do you feel about the remakes?
The remakes, so 2 was amazing. I'm 2 is my favorite actually.
What
so
about 3?
3 is dope.
Okay, I had to make sure.
3 is
There's a lot of
dope.
reactions from that.
3 is dope, but I didn't get what I got from it when I played it the first time. The second one, I did and more. I got dope graphics, you know, it just brought me back. Because first of all, I played Resident Evil 2. I probably beat that game over like 16 times. And because I got fooled, because back in the day, they used to have like, you know, video game magazines.
Yep.
And so there was a thing where it was like, oh, you could play as Akuma. You just have to beat the A game 8 times and the B game 8 times. So me and my buddy, we had, you know, back in the day, you know, PlayStation memory cards. I'm like, yo, I'll beat it 8 times with Leon. You beat it 8 times with Claire. And so we did that. And then we waited a month. Nothing happened. I mean, we did it for like a month. Nothing happened. And we just kind of gave up, played other games. The magazine came out and boom, they were like, oh, April Fools, there's no Akuma in the game. So, but I ended up I was so good at Resident Evil 2, I ended up beating the game with like only the knife. Like that's how good I got at the game. I like beat it with
Just
the knife.
the knife?
Yeah. So
That's cold-blooded.
yeah, it was pretty sweaty, I will say, to that way I was
You
playing.
have to back away from the movements.
Well, the thing is with Capcom games, there's a pattern in every part of the game.
Oh, yeah.
So you know exactly how to run by the zombies. Like, bro, I was pretty nice with juking the zombies and stuff like that. So barely even got hit. You know, when fight bosses, you know, they also have patterns just like Mega Man games and stuff like that. So that's how I got, you know, through all that. But Resident Evil 2 is probably like my go-to. Probably the go of the remakes.
That's true.
Nice.
Which Resident Evil would you have someone start with?
1.
Okay.
1 because that one is the most eerie, most like there's mystery, there's like
It's the
betrayal.
I say it's the most unsettling one.
Yeah, it's that one I would say, or just go straight into 7 and just scare your ass off.
That's true.
Go straight to 7 because it's not canon to the rest of the game, the rest of the story.
Oh, that's true.
It's not. So well, it kind of is, but very, very, very small.
It's a very settling
yeah.
point.
So I would say 7 for sure. I would have people start with 7
Because we really don't know where Capcom's going with this story.
Yeah, 7, and then you can play 8, and then now you got this part or this part of Resident Evil down for you, and it's a dope game. That game is an experience. That's not just a game. That's an experience. That game will have you shook. You know what I mean? Like you guys played it, right? Let's just make sure. All right.
I have seen gameplay, but I haven't played it yet.
I've played 7 and I stopped. I chickened out, and of course I chickened out.
I got to do it.
I chickened out of Resident Evil 7 because I was playing the whole thing through VR, and I was just like, yeah,
Hell
I can't.
no.
I can't.
Hell no.
I couldn't.
Hell
like,
no.
especially when you're home alone, it's nighttime. You get paranoid.
Oh no, I'm not doing that.
You get real fucking paranoid.
I have another horror question. Have you played Outlast?
Outlast. I'm actually watching my homie play Outlast right now.
Like,
I never got to play it though.
It's very unsettling. That's one thing for sure.
From what I'm looking at, yeah, there's no weapons. You're just running around with a freaking camera light.
Like a night vision camera. Well, that's all you have.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, no.
Then they made like a multiplayer version of this game recently.
Really?
I think Outlast Trials. Where I think it's like a 4-player survival. Same exact concept. I found it stupid.
Yeah, I mean, because it doesn't hit the same because you're not alone. Those type of games will make some scary is like you're alone. You're alone, you know.
Then another survival horror I talked about 3-4 podcasts ago. There's one I want to try, but I just don't want to spend $8 on this game called Fear and Hunger.
Fear and Hunger? No, not familiar.
It's Final Fantasy turn-based, but there are consequences.
Mm-hmm.
If you get hit and lose an arm, you will literally lose your arm.
Okay.
Like, if you die, you start the game over again.
I like those kind of games too.
But then, like, there's also a coin flip mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
If you guess the wrong coin, you're already dead, or you get severely injured.
You said it's $8?
It's $8. It's on PC.
I might give it a shot.
Look at the trailers first before you jump into it.
Yeah.
Because they will tell you flat out, hey, this is not for a week of people.
Yeah.
And everything will list like the RNG is real in that game. I watched the gameplay. I'm just like, I'm way too chicken to play this. And there's a second one too, where they reduced the amount of gore into the first one because one person made this game.
Oh, really?
I think it's one guy from Europe.
I'll definitely take a look at it, man. I'm all about the life of getting scared, video game wise, not movie wise.
But there's also like there's 2 endings. The second one's harder than the first.
Mm.
But the game you're supposed to finish in 3 hours, in theory.
Why is that?
There's no save points.
Ah.
Actually, there's a save point, but you have to flip a coin to get it.
Okay.
If you don't, a strong enemy will come after you and your party.
Oh, that's one of those games that will piss me off then a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
This is
It will piss everybody off. Like I read the reviews and they're so funny. On Steam.
I will say if it's not Resident Evil, I will recommend any survival horror. Now I'm thinking about some other ones I've played outside of Resident Evil.
Sons of the Forest.
No, but I've played one that it got rated really bad, but it was really good in my opinion.
one?
Callisto Protocol.
You know what?
That game
Why
was
was it rated
fire
bad?
because it was buggy. It was like Mass Effect buggy, right, when it first dropped, and there was a lot of frame skipping. So
Really?
yeah, so it was pretty bad because of how overhyped the game was, but I powered through that shit because the graphics looked amazing. From what I read, I guess before Dead Space came out, this was supposed to be Dead Space from what I read. And then they went the actual Dead Space route, and then the guy that was supposed to develop Callisto Protocol just kind of kept that idea.
He kept it alive.
Yeah, and then here we are now. It came out. The game is rated so bad. It's like $14 now on GameStop. It's like crazy to me because
I was ready to say how you feel about Dead Space.
Dead Space is dope. I love Dead Space. I love the
I
remake
feel like
was
that's
fire.
like an iconic game that like everyone. That's a staple to horror games.
That's a fire ass game, and it's very scary. And it's not. It's scary because of the audio more than anything.
Yes.
Because hearing like especially have good headphones,
Yeah.
hearing like shit above you, and then in real life you're like, bro, there's been times where the audio is so. As a matter of fact, Callisto Protocol, the audio was so good that I literally looked back in real life because I thought I heard a sound behind me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those type of games always I would recommend because it brings a movie element to gaming more than it's just a video game to people. You know what I'm saying?
How do you
Oh,
feel
yeah,
about
definitely.
that, Silent Hill demo that was introduced in the PlayStation 4?
No, I didn't. I wasn't.
PT.
I didn't
There
play
we go.
it.
Thank you.
I didn't play it, but I am waiting for the new remake part 2 because that's probably the scariest game I've ever played.
I freaking love how PT was introduced and then it just died out. And people that still have the beta will sell their PlayStations for X amount of dollars.
I think I still have it in my library.
Keep it while you can.
I plan to.
Mostly because you know how much people are selling their PS4s with that games to fans? Like
A lot of money.
1,500, 3K right at the bat. For just a PS4.
$1,500.
For that one game. And it got dissected too, where it's like, why is this scary? This works on this. Like, they actually went into the background of the game.
I could never.
I would not.
I could never.
I'd rather do it on a gacha game.
I'd rather just play a different game completely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Honestly.
All right, so our next topic. What are your current thoughts on the current state of gaming as of right now?
For me,
Yeah.
for me, it's fire. Everything that's coming out is great. Especially coming from where I came from to now and seeing some of these games like Resident Evil 2, seeing how I played it and was like, wow, this game looks amazing. And then seeing it now where everything looks like super real, it's for me, I just see progression. A lot of people we're kind of spoiled now with how things look and how things run, and we've become a little jaded. Not we as us, because we came from that era. And so I look at it more so of progression, right? Like I said, Resident Evil 2, I look at the way some shooting games are, how they've evolved, and just I appreciate the evolution of games. You know what I mean? And now I feel like a lot of games are going towards the challenging route of like Elden Ring style Souls-like games,
Where it feels like a carbon copy at some points.
it is, but some people don't have the luxury to play all these games, right? So they have to start somewhere, right? Like for example, like my boy, he never played Elden Ring, but he plays Sekiro because he likes Sekiro because he's into like.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and I played Sekiro. It's fire. The game is fire too, but I think we're in a really good spot. You just gotta like look at it as everything as a whole. It's like a lot of times like people nitpick certain things that don't need to be nitpicked. They'll be like, oh, this game doesn't have crossplay. I'm like, do you know how hard is it to probably add crossplay in a game? Like you really don't understand.
Yeah.
that part.
How much licensing will
Yeah.
cost and everything else.
Yeah, so we've and like I said, not we, but just people have become really jaded with stuff. So they'll be like, oh yeah, this happens in a scene. That's why I was talking about Callisto Protocol. People were complaining about these things. I'm like, I'm still gonna play this game. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Meanwhile, the fans of like games like Pokemon or Nintendo
Yeah.
products, they might see a game as buggy for having short development time, but at the same time, they'll still buy it and not say shit.
yeah,
It's a little bit ironic, but we're in an interesting like clashing of generations.
Yeah.
Where people appreciate the classics, the new gens, or
That's perfect.
they actually want to have either an open mind or closed mind and straight to the point.
Yeah, I can agree with that, and that's my point. Like we shouldn't be looking at it and nitpicking things. We should be appreciating some of the stuff that's dropping. But because they're like some of this generation's already like used to this, you know, they're like, oh yeah, this game, you know, it's this cutscene is doing this little jitter. This game sucks. I'm like, what? Forspoken got the worst reviews, and this game looks fire. I don't know if you guys played that game either.
I played the demo.
I guess it was the voice acting.
I played the demo and
Not a fan.
yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. Like I was able to understand the combat and whatnot, and then of course how everything works, but it just wasn't grabbing me. I'm just like, nah.
It looked cool. Don't get me wrong. I
did
think
look-
it was just the voice acting that kind of just like damaged it a little bit. Similar to Mortal Kombat's voice acting a bit.
You don't like it?
Oh my god, I could go on. I personally am not a fan of Megan Fox's voice for Natara.
Facts.
Neither am
I'd
I.
rather have AI, and I hate to say that and be disrespectful, but in all seriousness, you have to have some effort into a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because your voice actually gives life to the character,
Yes.
and for me, I finished playing the story mode of Mortal Kombat 1, and just even though she didn't have like a lot of screen time,
Yeah.
when she did, it was just like, oh
She's
my.
so annoying. Like, shut up.
I was like, oh my god, this is bad. Like I could have got somebody else for this. Like get someone that does animate like
Yeah, fact.
voice acting and whatnot. That could have done a much better job than her. But well, at least I know where the budget went.
Yeah.
And now with the release of Omni-Man,
And his actual voice is good.
yes,
Can't wait.
yeah,
I cannot.
Even though he looks a little tanky, he has some... It didn't look too significant, but it looks like he has potential.
Yeah, for sure. I think so too.
I'm not downplaying him now because he hasn't came out.
I'm gonna play him because I'm a fan of the series. I'm a fan of the show, and I'm a fan
Yes.
of the comics. So I'm
So we got like a month until he comes out.
yeah.
1 month and I think 8 days, or the 23rd of November. Or is it October?
Yeah, we're in October.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a month away.
Oh no, we close, man.
Yeah,
We're very
so it's
close.
coming out. So yeah, so
Quarter life
Omni-Man's
crisis
coming
kicking
out next month, and the new season of Invincible is also coming out next
Can't
month.
wait.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I love that
We made us
series.
wait 2 years.
Yeah.
For that, damn near.
It's a lot to that show is a lot to process.
Yes.
For those who haven't read the comics. I do want to read the comics next, but I think they're doing a whole different route from it.
I don't know yet. I don't know because I've never read the comics. I don't want to because I kind of made that mistake like with some anime like Demon Slayer and
Yep.
Jujutsu Kaisen. So now I'm
Their
like,
expectations are
now
a
I'm
little
watching
higher.
like this is about to happen. You know what I mean? And especially with Demon Slayer. And that's because like my social media, I'll see like a feed. I'll see on my feed somebody will post a short. Did you know that? And then I'm like, damn, you just spoiled like something that's gonna happen at this arc way ahead of me. So now I have general curiosity. So now I'm like, let me see what happens.
Yeah.
I'll look it up and
Yeah.
not spoil it for myself. And I'll just read ahead straight up. Actually, something got spoiled for me because I just saw a cover art. You know what I mean? I won't spoil nothing on screen, but I saw some cover art of a manga for Demon Slayer, and that automatic,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, oh shit, this is happening. Damn. So
But yeah, overall, as you said, gaming is good. Gaming is in a good place right now, and I would definitely say like 2023 has been a really, really great year for gaming.
Yep.
A lot of good games came out. A lot of great games came out. Quality games at that.
And like some good trailers, at least for the most part.
Yeah, and you already know what happens when all these good games comes out. You ain't got a lot of time to play them.
facts.
So for fighting games, how'd you feel about the Tekken trailer that like released, like the final one?
You saying before fighting game? Wait, what was the
Oh,
question?
Tekken 8. At least the last trailer that was shown with like most of the characters, some of the story mode.
I can't wait, bro. That's the
Yeah.
one game
It
that
looks good.
I'm gonna drop Street Fighter or MK for sure, 100%.
It has to be one of those two because that game's a lot to process.
It is.
Yeah, Tekken requires a lot of effort to get into, and I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for Tekken 8. And I'll still be playing Mortal Kombat when that game comes out because I grew up on Tekken since 3.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I did too as well, but I wasn't. I was very casual.
Tekken. Okay, so Tekken and this other game called Battle Arena Toshinden was my first two games on PlayStation 1.
Battle Arena Toshinden.
Yes.
Let me look this up.
It's a fighting game kind of like it was like Soul Calibur for Soul Calibur. So it was pretty fire back in the day. I mean, you're looking now, it's gonna look like shit, but it was a dope game. But those were my first two games I got for PlayStation 1, and so Tekken holds dear to me. Like I used to like go ham in Tekken
This
with
reminds
my
me of
friends from
Soul
upstairs that had it too.
Blade.
So I would be downstairs
Holy
practicing with my little brother, and I'm about to go upstairs and whoop this dude's ass.
Dude, this
So
reminds me of that like old school. Yeah, it reminds me of Soul Edge.
Yeah. So so those were my first two games. So Tekken holds dear to me. So I'm definitely gonna. When Tekken 2 came out, I was like, wow, what an improvement. Tekken 3, wow, what an improvement. Tekken 4, I was a little like, damn, what's going on here? You know. And then Tekken 5, the same thing. I was like, I wasn't used to the damage output because the damage got crazy after Tekken.
Because there was that
5.
broken Jin combo. Vendors obviously Yoshimitsu's stab.
Yeah, Tekken 4 was that was a very interesting game for its time.
I did love the story mode or that little fighting arena mode where you just like travel around.
Tekken Force mode.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Tekken
bro.
Force. I loved that.
Yeah, that shit was fire.
I played Moko Jin just to mess with people, just to mess with myself.
And then there was Tekken 5, which was a slight better improvement than 4.
Definitely better.
Yeah. And then Tekken 6, loved it.
That was probably one of the better ones.
I played Tekken Dark Resurrection actually on the PSP.
That was actually fire too.
Yep,
Yeah,
I remember
played
that one too.
That
And
was
then
really good.
Tekken 7, still love it to this day. Granted, I don't play the game anymore because I've moved on to other fighters, but I would say for me it was 3, 6, 7. And of course Tekken Tag, love both of them.
Yeah.
They're always fun. Always fun. Love both Tekken Tags.
Yeah, I agree. I'm on this. I have the same picks. I would also throw 2 in there because 2 was such a jump from 1, like just visually, and just the way it's played. And then 3 was amazing, and then they just went a way different route with 4. But then they improved it because what they added was that octagonal kind of movement, like 8-way movement.
Yeah.
But they made it better. They made it work, and I was like, you know what, I kind of like this game. Then they went the route of like, hey, we're gonna process a lot of damage now, and then because you can die super quick now at this point in Tekken versus how it was before. I feel like with the health bars, but that's neither here nor there. But other than that, like I have probably the same picks with in Tekken for sure.
Definitely. All right, so next topic. You had to be there moments. So tell us, what moments in gaming throughout your years of gaming that you can tell people like, yo, you had to be there for this moment?
I have 2. I would say I have 2 top ones that really like hit me. So the first one was, I will say, I went to Combo Breaker, and I've watched live gaming before, but I've never felt the energy I felt watching a Tekken tournament. And it was grand finals. It was Nea against Anakin. Anakin was up like 2-0. The crowd is going crazy. Steve, you can hear the commentary in the crowd. Steve was going Tasty. It was Tasty Steve and
Tasty Steve, really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He was commentating. He was going crazy. And then Nee started coming back. He was because he was in losers. He resetted it, right? And mind you, Anakin he showboats a lot. He was drinking his Red Bull during like the tournament, and like I said, he was up 2-0. Nee came back. He resetted the bracket. Then Nee went up 2-0. So now everybody's just quiet. So then Steve, he wants Anakin to win because that was a world tour. We've never taken any world tours.
Oh yeah, Tekken World Tour.
Yeah. And so I just remember him he's just telling everybody, he's like, yo, oh no, I'm sorry. So Anakin came back and made it 2-0, and it was like final round, final game, match point, everything. And before it even started, Steve was like, everybody, Anakin needs your energy. So it's like everybody was like putting their hands up, like they were doing like this, spirit bomb, dude. I had chills, bro, and everybody's just cheering and going crazy, man. So it was like almost like a wrestling event or a UFC event where the crowd is like really engaged, really into it, and it's just one of those things where I'm like, yo, I can never miss a Tekken tournament now because this was like incredible how I felt. I wasn't even playing the game at all, but because of the way like everyone felt about wanting this man to win. Like it just felt it was one of those things like, yo, you had to be sitting next to me to feel that type of vibe. You know what I mean? Like me just even putting into words now is not enough to like, if you guys were sitting next to me like, yo, this was fire. This was like top 3 in my like favorite like moments of like gaming, like FGC history, gaming history for me at least. But that was one of those moments for me for sure.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. The other one was a little bit more personal. because a buddy of mine, we came from Killer Instinct. You guys play Killer Instinct, the Xbox version?
I have seen the game.
I have never touched that version of Killer Instinct.
I've watched it.
I've grew up on it.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo, N64, love Killer Instinct, but
Yeah.
when it went Xbox, I was just like, I'm on PlayStation. But either way, I was like, I'm still happy because Killer Instinct is back, and I hope it continues.
Yeah.
I want it to continue because that's an
Oh,
old school game that I loved and grew up with. So seeing it coming back and seeing that resurgence of people who want to play, wanting to get back and play the game,
Yeah.
that does make me happy. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking forward for the future for more Killer Instinct games because that is a game series that I do not want to die. And
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. Nintendo dropped the ball
Hard, yep.
very hard because they had a really good gem and they just did not take advantage of it.
Yeah.
No, they did not. I do like the collaborations they have done,
Yes.
but it's been a few years since they last released something, hasn't it?
Yeah.
What, Killer Instinct?
Yes.
They're done. Yeah, because they're trying to release a new patch now, and kind of just they're trying to revive the game. Like the community is pretty strong. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Lie, but it got toxic after a while, and there was a lot of it got real clicky.
Sounds like the NRS.
The group, it was probably just as bad as the NRS. You know what I mean? It's just NRS is probably worse because it's a bigger community than the Killer Instinct community.
Yes.
But for me, like that was my game. So my boy and I and a couple other of my other friends, like we would like really grind the game, like day and night, hours and hours, like playing first to like 70s and just trying to
Oh,
get
my
real.
eyes.
We got real grindy with this game,
I imagine.
bro, real bad. And so my boy got good enough where he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go to Evo." So it was me. His name is Sleep, and then I have another buddy. He was a top Street Fighter player, more Injustice 1. His name was Rico Suave. So that was my boy. So we all went together to Evo, and we competed in Killer Instinct. I got bodied in pools, but that's neither here nor there. But my buddy Sleep, he was really talented, and he was playing a character that was like brand new, so a lot of people are unfamiliar with that character. And so he explained a very personal situation, a very personal financial situation. He's like, "Yo, I gotta really hit a home run on this. Like, I'm in the top 8. So I gotta get as far as I can, so I can get as much of the bread and the winnings as I can." So I was like, "Yo, I support you." Just knowing that there's way more substance to it,
Yeah,
which I'm not gonna go over, but. It made me root for him on another level, not just like, hey, I want my homie to win. Like I really want him to win on other levels.
Yeah.
So, bro, he was on stage, and that was when like KI was at its pinnacle, it was at its peak. So everybody's like engaged, watching it, cheering from the crowd. Everybody's going crazy, and so he was literally like on a pixel of health. He should have been dead. He should have been just out of there. He was on a pixel of health. And the commentary was Maximilian and my boy Shin Tristan. So it was pretty like if you watch it now and with the commentary, you'll be like, this was amazing. Even not knowing what's going on, I've shown people and they're like, yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, Maximilian dude, like with his knowledge, is crazy.
Yeah.
Around this time.
So Maximilian's hype. So he was loving his game, and so my boy Sleep, he had probably one of the. I think he's if you look at like top Evo moments in comeback history and stuff like that, he's in there. So he was on a pixel of health. He was playing this dude named My God, which is also another NRS player, and he came back and won a game that he shouldn't have won. He was untouched. So the guy My God was playing a character Saberwolf that is not a. He's not a very friendly. So if you're playing a zoner, he's not zoner friendly. Like he's gonna get bodied. So my boy's playing like a zoner, but he plays a zoner like very aggressively. Anyway, long story longer. He ended up coming back and winning, but he ended up losing in the next round over, which was. It was a little sad because he lost. He still got third place at Evo, but he ended up getting picked up by a sponsorship called F3.
That's dope.
Which does I think they do Counter-Strike. They sponsor Counter-Strike. Then they started sponsoring Street Fighter players and stuff like that. So he ended up getting picked up. He ended up getting a nice little winning. He got the gold arcade stick, which is pretty dope. Which is worth like over almost $10,000. So he ended up getting that. I think he got like a nice chunk of cheese for KI at that time was like $25,000, $30,000. So which is not great. Looking at the other games, but to the regular person that's just playing KI, man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's good.
So for me,
man.
that was one of the, and then just seeing him come back and watching the way the crowd reacted to his comeback, I almost wanted to cry. A grown ass man, I was like, I almost want to cry for my boy that, you know.
Oh
he
yeah,
just-
like,
Oh, yeah.
That's
So-
where like real emotions come
Dude.
out.
So I'll never forget that, man. That's just one thing. Like, it was when I saw when I thought about that, I was like, I gotta share this because this it's one of those moments for me where it holds dear to me. Because number one, it was Evo. Two, it was my boy, and three, it was the way it happened. You know, and now it's a top Evo moment. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
so for me, those were the two, like, yo, you gotta be there moments. The Tekken moment, and then there. If you were sitting next to me, watching my boy come back, you'll be like, yo, I don't know what just happened, but that was dope. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But those were the two top moments for me.
it's always good to like support your friends and family and such when it comes to these like big Evo moments, these FGC moments in general. It just shows how much support you can come through somebody.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Literally, like Taco's a good example of Parsa. Most of us in Ireland came to watch without even a question.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
And it means a lot, you know, when you go out there and you're supporting your buddy, or you want to coach him and sit by him, or just to tell him, yo, you good, bro, you got this, you know.
Yeah.
It's a really really good feeling, you know. So like my friends all support me when I come here. I'm on the phone with them. They're like, yo, Danny, what are you doing? I'm like, yo, my bad, bro. You know, something like they really like support me. So I'm the same way with everybody at that.
Okay. All right. Our next topic, and it's our last one. What are your gaming pet peeves? What are some things that just bother you in gaming?
Like the shit that would annoy you that wouldn't annoy anybody. It could be messages. It could be like there's a whole wide variety. Even a pixel. Joking.
I have I'll say I really hate when they show this game, right? Like I think they started showing like pictures of that new Ninja Turtle game that's coming out, like The Last Ronin, which I'm a big fan of.
Oh yes.
That game looks like it's gonna be fire, right? So they're like, yo, they're showing these screenshots, they're talking about it, and then they're like 2026. And I'm like, bro, why are you telling me about this game now? when
In
this game's
2
coming out?
years.
Or then they'll tease you with a little beta. Yo, you get this beta for like 2 days, man. Enjoy it because this game's coming out in 5 years or something like that, you know. So
That's disrespect.
that it pisses me off.
Yeah,
That
I agree.
Really, like, because I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'll play it in 3 years, you know. So that would be one. Or one thing that was annoying, especially with PlayStation, is when you buy a game, you buy a physical game,
Yes.
and you gotta like download whatever you need to download before you actually start playing. I mean, that's something small, but
But like if
kind
you
of
take the
annoying.
disc out, you'll still have to put the disc in.
yeah, what's going on? You know what I mean? So those are probably like my only pet peeves outside of you know, I used to say like, oh, why isn't this game crossplay? But then, you know, the older I got and the more I thought about things, like it's just not easy to implement those kind of things in
And
games.
it may lower the quality.
Yeah, exactly. So those are probably my top. I would say just knowing that something's coming out and you can't play it for, you know, X amount of time, and then when it finally comes out, you're like, yo, did 3 years just fucking pass right now? Shit.
Yes.
You know, so
Like time goes by quick when you don't even notice.
bro, remember when Street Fighter 6 was first announced? I was like, I'm never gonna end up playing this. It feels like it's so far away. And
Yeah,
now-
literally.
Oh, yeah.
Here we are. You know.
Yep.
I do respect what they've done with Street Fighter. I feel like it's one of the best Street Fighters. Like even though I haven't touched it,
Yeah.
it looks like it's one of the best because of the amount of frame data it shows, how much the community has. Like, did you know they add one extra frame for a move?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, for the startup. Most people don't know it. It's like a community thing. I was listening to a whole guide on frame data, sitting down. I listened to this 3 times, and I'm just like, wow, that's actually impressive. They listen to the community. That they added an extra frame for startup.
I think they did it for jumping too. No.
I think so as well. As long as there's a move with a startup,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And the fact that there's a training mode online.
Yeah, I like that too. That's my favorite thing about fighting. First of all, like you don't have a good training mode if you don't have online training. Like that, that got to be done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? To be able to kind of lab with the homie
Yeah.
or somebody that is going to be able to show you something, and be like, hey, let me show you this in a matchup. And I don't know if you guys seen how Tekken's doing their training mode.
Yes.
That looks crazy.
So
Yes.
you can watch your match and you can say, pause.
I need to lab this.
Yo, what can I do in this situation? I have 10 seconds to react. I'm like, they're really putting ghost training to an extent.
Yes, and I'm excited for Tekken 8. That's why I was like, yeah, when this game comes out, I'm going to be fully committed to this because of that feature alone.
Because with 30-something characters, saying just lab the matchup sounds fucking terrible.
yeah.
It sounds like the worst thing anyone could ever tell you to lab the matchup in Tekken.
Yeah.
And if you look at Tekken 7's timeline of history where it came out in 2015, and you look at it now, yeah, it's a complete game. You have a hell of a lot of characters that
40
you can,
something?
yeah, you have a lot of characters at your disposal. So I already know with Tekken 8 they're gonna put even more characters into the game. Maybe we'll have some new returning ones.
They showed Master Raven, which was quite impressive.
Yeah, and for me, I'm hoping they announce Bob, because Bob is one of my characters. Bob is my secondary character. I've always used martial law since Tekken 3.
Steve is mine.
That's
So-
dope. I like Steve.
So for me, it's like Law and Bob are my way to go. So if they announce Bob, cool. If they announce him as a DLC character later down the line, I'm cool with that too. As long as I'm able to use him. But if
Just
not,
don't
hey,
know
I got
who's
Law. I'm
DLC's
good.
Question.
Say again?
We don't even know who's DLC is question, because what was once DLC is now actually the main roster from like aspects like Leroy, for example.
Yeah, like Leroy was DLC in Tekken 7. Now he's in the main roster, and I really do hope they bring back the last DLC character, Lydia, because she's so good in
She's
Tekken
cool.
7.
Yeah, she was
She
fire. I
is.
like her.
Like when she came out, bro, I was getting bodied badly online with her because I was like, yo, I do not know this character, and
Julia.
she was just mixing me up. But I was like, bro, I hope Lydia comes back because that is
Azucena looks really interesting. I will say that.
I'm looking to
Azucena, who's the new guest for Tekken. She is a Peruvian coffee drinker that has
That's what I want to main, bro.
yes.
That's
everyone
what I
wants to
mean.
name because some of her stuff looks automatic.
Yeah. I just like her little weave mechanic. That looks pretty cool.
Yes.
I feel like she's like an easy character to pick up because of that. I feel like she's like
Lucky Chloe.
Lucky Chloe.
I was like, listen, and I said this on Twitter. I was like, yo, if they replace Lucky Chloe with her, I'll take that because I hate Lucky Chloe.
I low-key love Lucky Chloe.
I hate you too.
Wow. I just like the way she I love her her mechanic, but it's so dumb.
It is so. I hate that character. That character is so cheesy, and just when I think I know the matchup, it's just like she does some other bullshit, and I'm just like, I throw the controller down. I'm done. Fuck this character.
I'm praying they have like good guest characters. 'Cause
Yeah.
They last game they had pretty good guest
Because the
characters.
fact that they collab with Street Fighter and they collab with King of Fighters
And they just threw in Noctis out of nowhere. Final
and
Fantasy.
Negan.
Yep.
Negan. What kind of? That's crazy.
I know.
I played Negan at first, and then I'm like, as I got more competitive, I'm like, I want something that would be me. Someone told me to play Paul. Paul and Steve are my two mains, and they're both in Tekken. So I'm finally actually gonna get back into it.
That's dope. I like Steve a lot.
I made a vow saying if Steve is not in this Tekken, I won't play the game
Now he has to be in the game.
Yeah. Yes.
He's
Yeah.
one of the staples at this point.
Yeah,
So he
like-
has-
because I just love outplaying. Go weave, knockout. Even though I don't know many optimal combos, I just know mental damage. I teched 5 throws in a row, one game with somebody.
that's beast.
I still have this video to this day. But Tekken has a lot of good potential. Uni's coming out soon.
Eunice?
Under Night Ember
Oh,
Blessed.
I've only watched that game. Like it looks pretty cool. I'm into anime, man. So anything like that looks anime, I'm just gonna watch it. You know, as long as it's like cool, at least. You know.
Yeah, Uni's a very, very simple game. Well, yeah, it's an interesting game to get into. Like too many archetypes in one shot. Mm-hmm. The fact you have a grappler, you have charge characters, and you have multiple variations of rushdown. I like it. I've been playing a little bit recently.
Yeah, that's probably one of those games like I'll never play, but I
The
like
look at
watching
it's
it.
cool.
Yeah, I tried Multi Blood, but I'm not a big fan of that, man. I try to really I try to
tried
like
as
it.
well. I got cheesed by this man. I never touched it again.
You play that, man?
Yeah.
I got cheesed and I never touched it afterwards, and I still have it in my my roster. And I didn't know Multi Blood had a player one advantage.
You know, I think MK has a player one advantage right now too.
Not anymore. They updated it.
Yeah.
What was the advantage though? What exactly was it?
They had more active frames.
What?
Player 2 had 5 less active frames. So people who played in Sea Otaku, Player 2 had a disadvantage. I was one of those victims.
I can't believe that.
I could have beat a rain about on stream.
So this was an offline thing. It wasn't like just an online thing that the first player had more.
No, I think it was an offline thing.
That's crazy.
It was on and offline.
Wow.
Yeah. I play that's a good OS. You might have gone 0-2, but you were probably player 2, and that's okay.
Because there were moments where I would think I would whiff a move, and I'm like, why is my input not coming out as fast as I can?
PC, I think, is what's having more trouble now.
Yeah.
I have learned that from like trying to do I dropped a combo by accident because I was doing back to Sub-Zero, or like the launcher, super, missed. I was pissed.
Yeah, that's the thing with NetherRealm games is like when it comes to the PC port side, it's like hit or miss.
Yeah, I personally wouldn't get it on PC unless they actually truly say, "Hey, we're gonna fix our mistake. My bad. Here's some free shit."
Yeah.
I've been the PC only guy, man. So unfortunately, I went the PC route.
You poor soul.
Yeah, I went the route, and now I have nobody to play with. I literally have
Because it's hard to find games online, I'm presuming.
Well, I play on rank for sure, but it's just I don't have any friends that prefer to play it on PC. Like
And
they
plus,
rather do it on
crossplay
PS5.
would be a little bit iffy to work with.
I mean, it's gonna have to happen though. If they want to be successful, it's going to have to happen.
Warner Brothers just gonna have to stop being broke and shell up money.
No. Warner Brothers got the money. They just been spending the money in terrible ways because if you in Las Vegas they have that big globe.
Yes.
They did their promo in the globe or whatnot, and the promo cost a hell of a lot of money, like
$3 million.
no, over 400 grand.
That's a lot still.
And I'm just like, so let me get this straight. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, let me get this straight. Y'all spent money over 400 grand to promote Mortal Kombat 1 in Las Vegas in this big globe. That's one. Megan Fox, 2. Your celebrity voice actors for some of the games because you're also gonna have John Cena in there. 3. So that's the reason why we're not getting decent things in this game. And to me, that's my pet peeve is right there. Is just like how a gaming company is spending utilizing their money on like shit that's like not useful.
Yeah.
Not even needed.
Exactly, not even needed. Where that could have went towards the game to make it a lot better,
Yeah.
to make it more optimized. Because if they'd have put that money in towards, okay, you know what? Let's make sure that we have crossplay available on all platforms, PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Then cool, you know, that fixes everything.
I think it took a year for MK11 to be a crossplay, or 2 years.
That's scary to know right
Yeah.
now. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it took a year, I'd say. Then they started like legalizing the custom variations 1 year within the competition competitive scene. That's where I stopped personally, because I played Vanilla Kano, and just getting cooked by a Cetrion or Cabal is fucking dirty.
Vanilla Kano was good though. No.
He was to an extent. He wasn't top tier. He was more like mid.
And another pet peeve that I have of Mortal Kombat 1 is the game price is $70.
That shit came out of nowhere.
Yeah, and then the DLC for the 5 characters Combat Pack 1 is about $40, and I'm just like, comparing this to Street Fighter 6, I would say Street Fighter 6 is much better in terms of the game price and the quality that it's giving you. Like Street Fighter, to me it's like for $60, Street Fighter 6 gave me more than what Mortal Kombat is giving me.
Literally.
Like, and then of course the DLC is about $30, and you get all 4 characters for just 1 year.
Yeah.
Throughout.
Interesting.
And then you have the rental tickets as well, which is exclusive.
Exactly.
You can play a character for an hour and test it out if you want to purchase it.
That's good.
Bro, Capcom be like, they know what the players want.
But
NRS, they just give shit.
I think Capcom is on a bigger scale, though. I will say
They are.
Yeah,
100%.
They have to do these kind of things. You know what I mean? Like as I was telling you, Mortal Kombat is played, majority in the U.S.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like if they want to compete with Street Fighter, they are going to have to make some of those type of changes.
Definitely.
Especially some of the bugs. Like, it takes less than 1 day for a bug to show, and Capcom handles it.
Yeah, really, really quick.
It took 2 weeks for the player 2 disadvantage to get handled.
Once again, bigger scale.
I know, bigger scale.
I'm just saying, like, listen, NetherRealm, if y'all want to compete with Capcom, then you got to give us the features that, for us, players that are playing the game competitively, like, hey, we need these things to be, addressed and fixed, so that way we're able to play the game at its most optimal peak.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people are going to end up dropping the game. It doesn't matter that, it doesn't matter that you have, guest characters coming on or whatnot and a really good trailer. cool, but that's not going to be enough to keep people coming back to your game.
Especially the meta is just involving Cyrax.
Well, let me just say this, right? Because this is one thing
That's a pet peeve.
that's actually very annoying. Yeah, I will say like the problem with us is that we looking at these fighting games as fighting game players. We're not looking at it like some of my friends. They buy Mortal Kombat for the story, straight up.
Yeah.
They don't care about.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, so
Jesus
if you're
Christ,
looking
your
at
friends
it,
got
I understand you, like
bamboozled.
But when you're looking at it from someone that just plays like the story, like, oh, I love the MK story. I'm like, all right, so you want to play me, and then they suck. They're just trying to down tune me the whole game. I'm like, oh, okay, you just playing this for story. But I get you though, and I get you. You know what I mean? But we're just looking at it from an FGC standpoint.
Yeah.
So they might be looking at it from a bigger scale.
Yeah.
You know, but
That's true.
But who knows? You know, like I'm just
I don't
throwing
know.
an
The
idea
last
out
thing I
there.
want to show my homies is a competitive where I get cooked by a Johnny Cage Cyrax, a Kenshi Cyrax, or even a Baraka Cyrax. You know what? I'm going to play Baraka just so I can fuck everybody up. Which Cyrax?
I hate it here.
You know, sometimes you just got to make those lovely sacrifices just to cook.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. For me, anything but playing the top tier because I'm forced to play a top tier. Like I can't do that, man. Like, I like to play what I like.
I didn't realize, like, after the beta, he became bottom tier.
Who we talking about again?
Sub-Zero.
No, he was. I think he was pretty bottom tier from jump. From what I heard.
I think from what people saw from the beta and the amount of damage they did with meter, there are more people that can do with 1 bar of meter than what I can do with 3.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
They may have to just make some subtle adjustments and such.
Oh yeah, there's gonna have to be a season patch or something like that that's going to balance out the game. Otherwise, it's gonna turn people off to the point where just like, I ain't trying to play this.
Mostly because Kenshi, his normals are disjointed.
Really?
Yeah, the fact his sword extends his full body or away, like his sweep is probably one of the longest. Like, you might be far away, but his sword can pick up, or at least it's not mid screen, but it picks up
Far enough.
Yeah. Plus, he can cancel into his force push. Then there's also Sento, where he has his double, and you're just like guessing for your life if you're gonna get high, low, high, mid, low, high, bop.
And then of course there's also the breaker where it's 3 bars.
That's crazy.
When back then it was 2 bars, and I'm just like, once you use all 3 bars, I'm like, well,
Time to die.
Yeah.
No armor, no meter. There's just no. Well, at least you still have your cameo, right?
Yeah, you still have your cameo, but it's
It
just
just
like
depends if the cameo is useful in this situation.
that's why like when I play online, it's like, bro, I'm not gonna try to break no combos because if I break a combo, my whole meter's gone.
But the thing is, there are people like Radiant that could do 50% damage.
Fuck that character.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's never top tier.
Character.
Radiant Cyrax or Radiant Jax.
Raiden
one-
Jax is OD.
For one exclusive combo, that is 50 to 60%. He's probably more brain dead than Baraka.
I agree. Okay, I can see that.
Because his reads are harder to guess.
They're a little bit more punishable though, because that thing he does where he does like that little field around him and he hits you with like that's super negative. You could definitely punish it if you have the if you have the reach.
Mostly they're both meant for chip damage.
Yeah.
Baraka probably is like stronger in chip damage than he is combo optimization.
Yeah.
Because you just have to do the same combo multiple times and people could poke.
He kind of annoying.
Oh god, FGC talk.
He kind of annoying. Yeah, I forgot.
Oh god, I'm getting into it, but I do like Omni-Man low-key for the trailer they showed, especially with the train fatality.
Fire.
Yeah.
And then the fatal blow where it's just like the scene where he beats up Mark.
Yeah.
They had it side by side with the show. It was like verbatim, like the same. It looks fire.
Yeah.
Or especially episode 1, where he does that like head crush.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, they're actually like, they're putting detail. I do respect the detail that they put. They're probably going to have a patch when he gets released.
Of course.
They have to.
Of course.
And it's probably going to be bugs.
Tremor's an interesting introduction as well. He looks more ninja than he does like Rock.
Was he in that picture, by the way? Because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I see it as Ermac there, but my friend was like, oh, that's Tremor. I'm like, no, that's Ermac.
No, that's Tremor.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
That cooked me right now. You guys just cooked me right now. I didn't know that.
So Tremor is he was introduced in...
MKX.
Oh, no, I was talking before that.
Oh.
He was in one of those really dumb Sub-Zero games for the N64.
Yeah.
Mythologies. I played that too. That's
he
fire.
was in Mythologies, and then he became a playable character in MKX. And that's the only time he was introduced.
I wish he was a playable character.
I wish so too. He was broken in MKX. I'm surprised none of us played him at Flynn's.
I mean, I can play him, but it's just like, man, I gotta have to remember all of his bread and butter again.
I just YouTube some Jason combos. I hope you know this. Before, like, in the middle of the tournament.
I like Jason too. I like Jason when he came out with this.
Oh yeah,
He came out with the slasher. What was the other one that he kind of like messed up your input so he turned the screen red?
Yeah, Bloody Mist, I think is the name is. I'm butchering the name.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I did that to somebody. Also, I brutalityed like somebody twice in a row. Because of the X-ray. That's a command grab. Yeah, I was pure evil that day. I went goblin mode on MK11NX. I didn't touch 9 because I never really played 9 like that.
9 was alright because I liked the guest characters in 9. X was very cheesy. Once I like really learned the game, I was like, this game is real cheesy. Like, you know, it's like it's almost like block string combat. Like the whole game, you're just getting block stringed.
Oh yeah, Chips Ahoy.
Oh yeah, that and then like I think Vanilla Kung Lao was like insane in that game.
Yes.
I was maining Sonya.
Ooh, yes, Sonya was good in
She was good.
MKX.
I was doing and as a matter of fact, I like playing weird stuff that nobody plays. So like I was playing her with the drone. So I was learning how to do combos with the drone. And then I played before it got popular the demo Sonya, which is when she does the thing with the bombs and stuff.
Yes.
And then Scar exposed how good she was, and then Scar was doing his thing with that Sonya. But that was my main. But that game was mad cheesy. Once Tanya came out, and I saw like there was like a top 8 of like 6 Tanyas, I was like, okay, this game
Yeah.
not for me.
Yeah. But no one touches Tanya just because she's an irrelevant character.
Right now,
No. I meant MKX.
Oh.
MK11, she's interesting.
I gave up MK11 after a while, like right before Spawn came out, which is like shame on me because I love Spawn, but I didn't get to like really enjoy MK11 like that because of
Spawn is slow but powerful.
yeah.
Yes. Plus, he has chip damage like a motherfucker.
His playstyle looks dope. I mean, and it's Spawn. Like I'm already like biased to Spawn. You know, Spawn
Yeah.
is such a cool superhero. You know what I mean? And so, but I just stopped playing it because I got exposed to getting cheesed out with Aaron Black, not knowing what's going on. My boy's not very good at explaining stuff. Like I'm like, hey, what's plus here? Am I not supposed to press a button here? And then he's just like, I don't know. And
I had friends like that before I joined. I truly joined the FGC who'd just gimmicked me out until I started up processing.
yeah, then he forces me to lab stuff. I'm like, bro, your explanations are trash, bro. I'm gonna have to pull up a video, go in the lab, and just figure this out. Come back, and I'm not letting you do that shit again. But I was too lazy with MK11 and MK1. It's funny. I was not gonna play this because of my experience with MK11. And I was a CEO, and then somebody next to me was actually in the what was it? It was a Jabali Land, and they were playing the beta for MK1. And, and I was watching this dude, and I was like, "Yo, this looks fire. This is MK."
And I was watching this too. I was watching someone play like Sub-Zero, I guess.
Yeah.
Or Liu Kang.
Yeah, it was Liu Kang, and I forgot who, but I didn't know how the cameo system worked. And then when I started like really paying attention, I was like, low key might play this because I'm all about technical stuff in fighting games and swag. So
yeah,
my character has swag and technicality. You know what I mean? Like Sindel she has a lot of swag. Even though she could be boring, but I had to zone you out. I'm sorry about that.
it's all good.
Well, I felt bad, but I was like, yo,
Hey, I didn't know the matchup, so I'm not holding it against you.
But she is swaggy, and also she's technical because she has a lot of like the flight cancels and stuff like that. So it keeps me real engaged in my finger dexterity and all that.
I literally got gimmicked out by one last night. I was not the same.
Oh yeah, she could be gimmicky for sure.
I learned my lesson. Play Baraka.
All right, well, with that being said, I think we can go ahead and put a ball on this podcast and wrap it up. And before we do, Ern, is there anything that you want to, say, let people know? Where can they find you? Any closing remarks? The floor is yours.
I will say to people out there, just that are gaming and are the type of people like in movies, you go by reviews and stuff like that. So I encourage you just to kind of like play what you like, do what you want. Don't let others influence your decision in a negative way because you just never know. There's movies out there you guys watch and you might have had might have heard a bad review, you watch it and enjoy it. It's the same thing with gaming. So I will say, don't let the reviews kind of like, deter you from actually playing something. And that's as much as I'll say, So
Hell yeah.
just do your thing, play what you like, do your thing.
All right. Waluigi?
Hearn, glad to see you here. Glad you're still competing. Your story is hella funny. I'm still fucked up over the $2K that you spent. I don't know. That is like I'm probably not gonna sleep at night. Like shit. Would this be me next? But anyways, it's good to have you here. Good to see you're competing. Definitely can't wait to see if you try Tekken 8 out.
Definitely will.
Or see what you stick with. Definitely keep kicking ass.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Of course. What about you, brother?
All right, and as for me, Just Earn, thank you so much for being on the podcast and sharing your story and everything involved in gaming, especially with FGC, of course. Definitely look forward to having you again in the future for future episodes, especially when we have like a group of people and we can just talk about a whole bunch of different topics and whatnot. And yeah, man, like really enjoyed this episode and.
Me too.
Yeah, hopefully everyone that is watching and tuning in, y'all enjoyed the episode as well. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you're new to the new to the Twitch channel, go ahead and give us a follow. And if you also want to support the South Florida Gamers podcast, go ahead and give us a subscription on Twitch. And we greatly appreciate it. And also share the podcast as well. Get the word out there. Let people know that hey, we just had Just Hearn on our podcast. Good episode. Good talks, good discussion, and granted, even though we've closed out our applications for 2023, don't worry, 2024, I'll open it back up, and we'll have even more new guests coming on, and
Hells yeah.
Looking forward to getting even more people's stories and whatnot, and of course, more group episodes as well. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and sign out. This has been episode 86 of the South Florida Gamers podcast. Thank y'all so much for watching and tuning in. We are out.
Peace.